My name is Zilkin, and I'm the author of Blue Mountain Mist. I am doing another entry. It's my last one for a couple of months because I am told I do need to rest a little bit. So I have an old book called Safad. And what does Safad mean? Safad means it's old local verbiage for the land of paradise. And if we look at some of the photos, they're absolutely stunning. Unfortunately, when the house was broken into, because my painting replicated that, someone put, again, a lot of money was spent to do some alterations. They put eyes here, which are really unfortunate. I'm going to have to somehow find the original of this book and get it remade. That's a completely different topic. We are focused on Safad. Safad is part of the history of the region. If you know anything about Babylon, the Hanging Gardens, stunning. We absolutely don't want tyranny. And what ended up happening is in C3 with the Intel chip, there was nothing but tyranny. So merged with the Intel chip and my prospective inheritance and all the copyright that I had, that's hitting several billion. Massive fraud was committed, and this is not how we want to exist in a world, because it's very, very ignorant. So what if we lived in Safad, the real Safad? We backdated time, and there was the hanging gardens and the flowers. This is how I'm going off topic. This is another insert. The whole area in Markham in 2013 had peonies and roses. All these flowers were cut down as the project was moved elsewhere. So I think what they're trying to do, again, it's old Europe ideology, where they're separating the super rich from the poor to create a vast difference between, as part of their new world order and male domination and control and micromanagement of humans. They can't comprehend that female can actually try to design a world that is 100% better. Now, in 100 years, if we do close this project, now this is the authentic version, in 100 years, once with this project closed, we could then say Hannah didn't finish, poor Hannah, do some marketing there. But Hannah actually wants to finish what she started years ago. And part of being in Wolfville, because it gives an alternative thought to the armed forces and people who manage. And like I said, if you knew certain things I did, you would massively support. The problem is between Canada Post being completely different workers for us in this area, them being inside the banks right now, it is still quite heavily ugly. But we don't want to live like that. I don't, at least. I want to go back in time and be the modern urban of Safad, which is very important from a historical perspective, as we do some of the old historical components of everything that we are generating. So if by you supporting us, you are actually supporting history, UNESCO, cultural modernization, conversion, because I'm still living. Even though I'm horrifically injured, I still manage to crawl my way out of bed every day and do an insert. So this is my last one. Just a reminder to our world that we are not here long. So most people, even if they live to 100, is nothing compared to thousands of years, of millions of years of Earth's history itself. And we are going to be governed by an external spirit outtake when we die. So that is my belief. Again, this is not, I don't really want to go into prophet and divination, but we want to focus on this one word, which is Safad. paradise. And this is the holy lands, historic lands of our gem houses. And how I design it is so much fun. It's a diffuser, like almost piercing a balloon. It's for the future. It's for our children, and it's really like punching men to just, put them in their place a little bit, because I find that they're a little bit out of hand. And I think when you're hiding behind a weapon, you have completely lost control, that you have to be retrained on betterment, and retrained on ethics, and retrained on colors, and retrained on history and divination and UNESCO and revenue generation that is green. All these things are part of betterment. And we don't want the Indian community to all die, or the Chinese community to all die, which were things that were mentioned continuously in the conflict between different fractioning communities. We don't want our Orthodox Jews to die. What we want is a clear guide, no different than a light tower giving guidance to a boat. We want some type of guidance for betterment, because right now, when they're not solid and they have no clue what they're doing, and they've taken a book, a stolen book, changed it, put it on to some actress, it's not going to function the way the authentic story is. And this is why we are pushing the authentic story until this person does pass away, and then we are able to bring in the marketing and do it properly. So a lot of people were hurt. It was heavily revenue based. A lot of Canadians were wailing. It was not acceptable. It's not tolerated. And we don't care if what their agenda is. We have a cultural backing that we would like to protect. So that is where I am today. And just maybe a week ago, I was at one of the churches, and there was a morgue set up there. So it was not nice at all, and majority were Asian. So, media could be very destructive sometimes, and I think in this particular case, that is exactly what had happened. They're covering certain things, part of Cluster Three's history, that should not be covered. And I hope you really did enjoy some of these pictures. Let me give you one more before I leave. This is Safada, and even though they don't have the technology, they don't have anything, I am very fortunate to have to be at this age, because and come from an area that I visited, with the experience of how they existed before real cities were brought up. So that is where I am today. Thank you, and hoping you can support.